Hi, I'm Mark the Vet. I'm at DFS Crofts 2010, and on the sofa with me is...
Roger Mugford. Hey, I'm from the Company of Animals.
Right, what does the Company of Animals do?
Well, I started off life as an animal psychologist, helping dogs with behaviour problems and helping their owners, of course. But we've gone on to invent a number of devices like the Halti and Kong and things that make lives better for owners and dogs. So welfare-oriented dog training devices.
Now, Roger, you're world famous as being a top behaviourist and canine psychologist. There's so much in the news at the moment about bull breeds and controversial things. Yes, no, should they be banned? Tell us what's going on.
Well, what's going on is a fallout from the disastrous 1991 Dangerous Dogs Act. We made breed-specific legislation that tried to forbid the ownership of one breed, Pit Bull Terriers, and three others, but essentially it's about Pit Bull Terriers. Now, the trouble is, Pit Bull Terriers and Staffordshire Bull Terriers look pretty much alike, so when people have their beloved family pet, a long-legged Staffy, dragged away from them by typically the RSPCA, who are very active in this area, but also by agencies like the police, how do you distinguish your dog from a genuine Pit Bull Terrier? And what about the many Pit Bull Terriers that are as nice as I know them to be? Most Pit Bull Terriers are not dangerous and not aggressive. And so a lot of time is spent in court trying to get a bit of common sense evidence delivered to judges and magistrates on what's the best thing to do with a dog that's humane, that's been held in rotten kennels, bad kennels, for anything up to a year and some more than that. Vast expense from the public to pay for this kenneling, frustration by the police, and always angry owners who just cannot understand why their perfectly well-behaved, loved family pet that never did any harm has been nicked because of the way it looks. I mean, I'm not very good looking, and I could be nicked just for being an ugly old geezer. But that is more or less the level of logic with some of the dogs that have been put in keeping for custody for many, many months.
I heard a phrase being banded around, deed not breed. What exactly does that mean?
Well, another part of the Dangerous Dogs Act does in fact cover the fact that if the dog is dangerously out of control, bites somebody, knocks a child over or something, then of course that's a bad deed. The bad deed, of course, is probably by the owner who didn't train the dog and didn't restrain it. And quite rightly, the law goes after that owner and gives him a criminal record if he's found guilty. And again, in that case, I will also involved in giving evidence to say, well, actually, if that dog wears a muzzle and if it's kept on a lead and if it does a specific training course and maybe if it's castrated as well, then that dog can become a safe dog and needn't be a dangerous dog again. So please, judge, spare this dog's life, give it back to the owner or even rehome it. And I personally have taken on two dogs which have been before these so-called Section 3 dogs. One's a lovely Staffy cross called Humphrey, and the other's a German Shepherd called Sam. Both have got a new life on my farm, no threat to anybody. Humphrey is a celebrated TV star, and it's what you can do with dangerous dogs. It's easier to change the behaviour of a dog than it is to change the behaviour of some humans I know.
That's amazing advice, Roger. And finally, we're sitting next to two odd-looking shaped items. Tell us about them.
We've got to make life more interesting and fun for dogs. Now, obviously, selling toys like the Kong and lots of other great things from our Company of Animals, then they have contributed to improving the animal welfare, particularly dogs that are bored and left at home all day by owners who have to work to bring in the money, and dogs in kennels where life is very understimulating. So these two things are made out of bamboo, which grows out of the ground. It's from an idea given to me by Jill Robinson of Animals Asia, the wonderful charity. We give money to that charity based on the sales of these food dispensing devices, which so the food drops out of these little holes, and they're called Bamboozles. And this summer, 2010, there's going to be a lot of Bamboozle fun around here. Because it comes from nature in the forests of Indochina, peasants who've got no money, who've had a hard life, and it gives them an income and gives Animals Asia support, and boy do they need support in China. There's a big job to be done to improve the life of dogs in China.
So we're helping dogs, we're helping Animals Asia, we're helping everything, it sounds.
Yeah, and we're helping the planet because these are carbon positive.
Brilliant. Okay, and finally, Roger, where can people find out more about you, how to get a Bamboozle, and everything that you're talking about today? We've
got a fancy new website, which is called www.companyofanimals, one word, companyofanimals.co.uk. There's links to your website. It's interactive and fun, and a lot of commentary about our work in the courts and some of the big animal welfare issues that keep me worried and awake at night.
Cool. Roger, thank you so much for your time and have a great DFS cross.
Pleasure.
Cheers.